Hi everyone, my name is Jobert II Napalya and today let's going to discuss the content development suggestions and the fundamental business process outsourcing 102. When it talks about content development suggestions, I think um, to develop effective name content, it is important that you do the following development. High quality content that is well researched, relevant, and useful. To incorporate information on hot trending topics and information, and write content that readers will be interested in sharing with others. And what do you mean by content development? Content development is a process of creating content for a website from start to finish. You may have also heard of content developers. That term content developer is also used to refer to web developers, but in this article, we're concerning the solid development of content, not design or programming. Next, when it talks about fundamental of business processes outsourcing 102, it talks about the business process or the BPO in the practice of contracting a specific work process or processes to an external service provider. And the service providers can include the payroll accounting, telemarketing, the data recording, social media marketing, and the customer support, and more. What is business outsourcing? So guys, business outsourcing process BPO is the practice of contracting a specific work or process, as we said a while back. And from fledgling startup to massive Fortune 500 companies, business of all sizes of process and the demand continue to grow as the new and innovative services into the best business seek advantage to get ahead of the competition. The BPO industry is divided into the three categories based on the location and the vendor. A business achieves the total process optimization by combining the three categories. First is the offshore. Vendors are located outside of the company's own country. And the second one is the nearshore. When it talks about the nearshore, the vendors are located in the countries that neighbor the contracting company country. And the third one is the onshore. When it's said onshore, the vendors operate within the company's own country or the same contractor, although they may be located in a different city or state. Why do businesses outsource processes? According to PolityFact, this is a flawed notion. PolityFact concedes that there are tax breaks for a company when it relocates, whether on a country to differentiate, but there is no specific tax break to loophole in the US tax code related to outsourcing. First is to decrease cost. Outsourcing cuts down cost in-house labor, particularly for staffing and training. The second one is to concentrate on key function. The third one is to achieve better results in non-core functions. The fourth one is to expand their global presence. The fifth one to enable flexibility. And the last one is to improve speed and efficiency. So let's talk about the slide. The session objectives. At the end of the session, the student should be able to explain the step in a structured presential development. When I say the explain, you need to explain in the every steps or instruction so that your followers, para hindi mawala yung mga followers mo, gano'n, para masundan ka nila. And then, the second one is to create R-score description. Dapat may maayos kang description ng bawat steps na gagawin mo. And then, the third one is to create smart objectives. When I say create smart objectives, dapat maganda yung mga words o creative yung mga planong ginagawa mo. It's dapat mas concrete yung mga plans mo. Restate the objective and summarizing the content for each objective. Restating goal and content in tight one paper leverage in the tourism that only remembers the last message given. Efficient navigator. If the reader only has time to scan one page, the summary page contains the essence of the entire session. Summary. First steps. Step in structured presentation development is first is to define course title, description, formulate objectives, and the second one is you must create the sessions First sessions, when you say create the session, you need to create the titles supporting the objectives. The third one is to develop the session objectives. The fourth one, you must review, step back, and modify. And the last one, you need to take note, write down the sessions. And the last one is to conduct the beta presentation. Like this, it is what I'll present. Create course description. First is to state the general class or the category. The second one is the class, the list, and the scope. When I say the list, the topics, define the boundaries of, summarize the objectives in paragraph form. And the last one is state what makes the course unique. Attendance only remember a fraction of what is taught. Lectures have lowest retention. Other examples is listening to mass readings, graduation speeches. Challenge: how can retention rate can be increased? Create topic relevance for the listener. Representation questions. What question would you want? Done na.
Create topic relevance for the listener. Preparation question. What question would you want answered in the session? Why is the important for you? If demand not relevance, there is no for attendee to stay. Preparation message. There will be tests after the session. If you cannot answer a question, you will not have a bonus. Kung ikaw ay hindi nakapag-test sa session, ay wala kang bonus. Repeat hearing reading. Common meditation device to read the readings aloud with them twice. Fear of public failure. Pre-discussion quiz graded recitation requires the attendee to read and understand the material before the class. Kailangan mag-attend at intindihin ang lahat ng mga topic. Independent explanation. One can use the table of the explanation and still understand fully what is being conveyed. Next is simplicity platform. Platform can complexity raises risk that one component will not work. Video, music slides, and the complexity of required platform for the session to work as a plan. Equip timing support. Risk mitigation may require higher investment. Pre-session check to ensure that setup are not consistent. Resolution, good speakers, working sound system. Kailangan may projector bago para mag-discuss. Then magandang tawag ito, a good speaker, magandang speaker para malinaw ang pagdinig ng mga listener. Use the simplest platform possible and have backup. If projectors are basic assumption, have paper sliders. Gumamit ng projector para diretso lecture na hindi na kailangan maggamit ng bond paper. Next is graphics. Business presentation principles. Efficiency in the time to develop, efficiency in the time to deliver. Text, same font, no more than 2 fonts. Minimize size, highlighting, variation, bold, underscore, shading. Animation. Dancing animation may be fun, but ask yourself objectively if it contributes to the session objectives. Efficiency in the develop time and delivery time. Video and audio. Fun but religious is in check. Rigorous in checking. Thus is incentive clearly contribute achievement of session objectives. Wait time to develop versus result. wait time to deliver versus other channels to deliver same information. Backup. Use simplest platform possible and have backup. If protectors are basic assumption, have paper slides backups. Trainer guide. Principle of efficiency, development and delivery time effort. Least amount of time develop, least amount of time to prepare it and delivery. Kailangan may time kang mag-prepare and basahin bago explain. One document no separate trainer. Right. Teachers not for parts that need private explanation. Underscore highlighting on presentation materials to guide the trainer on areas to talk about. Do not read the slide well stories. Ability to scan and directly see underscore topics gives image and absolute mastery of material slide.
Hello, I am Prince Ford Galicia and I'll be presenting the slide 15 through 21. So let's start. Let's skip the slide 15 because it's a trainer guide or exercise. Let's proceed to slide 16. On slide 16, optimize white space. More white space facilitates focus, less crowded page, look upscale. More crowded page look utilitarian and tend to be glossed over. Hence, the 24-point type size suggestion. Or white space acts as a directional cue, and that directional cues are visual aids that point toward most important element of your post-click landing page. Also, white space can be help guide the user through interact content, or it may be help to build focal points and direct to the user's attention to the specific layout parts. Part of the strategic planning for a website is giving priority to the specific element or content. Next, on the page 17. Interaction. Class discussion can share example where white space has been used effectively in billboards. Can also share example of crowded billboards. Lastly, share the message that you remember from number 1 and number 2. Next, presentation methods and retention. Ultimate goal of presentation is not to deliver material, but to achieve attendee behavior change, like likelihood of behavior change is higher of attendee remember the material. Large crowd classes, lecture, smaller room guided to question to attendees, group learning, case discussion, broad deep learning, individual, team, and presentation. Why presentation methods and retention is important? Because when presenting presentation, you may improve retention by using fewer words, lowering or deleting bullet points, and approximately positioning visuals and graphics on each slide. This will raise your audience interest and retention of the content. Method. Lecture. Ultimate goal of presentation is not deliver material but to achieve attendee behavior change. Like likelihood of behavior change is higher if attendee remember the material. Large crowd classes. Lecture. Efficient deliver of information. Next is attendee owns responsibility to be enthused by information. Speaker uses sound bites, memorable words to enhance retention, like do you want to work? for free. Sunscreen, connect to the dots. Lecturer or teacher uses coming exam to make people pay attention. The next slide is method or guided question. Smaller rooms, guided question to the attendees, draws out of answer to the question to weave the essence of the material to be discussed. Good for topics that are consistent with attendee experience. Example, management question, conflict management, marketings, and brands. Also, can take time to require good presenter experience to gradually bring about a aha moment in the attendee mind, like blank whiteboard approach. Guiding questions are questions that are given to the learners as they working on tasks, either writing or verbally. By offering more open-ended guidance that attract student attention to the significance element without being prescriptive. Leading question help students to proceed to the higher level of thinking. And the last slide is the case discussion method. Group learning case discussion. Distribution of materials among case team members facilitates discussion, acquisition of large blocks of knowledge efficiently, summarized by each team member responsible for a subtopic, leveraging knowledge analytically minds of team members also require common sense of responsibilities, commitment to do work. Most efficient for teaching abroad or multidisciplinary topics like business school, law school. Case discussion also contrasts to a single vision of individual obtained via a survey, answer, or interview. This method captures a variety of viewpoints by diluting a specific individual's goals. This allows for a better grasp or the issue in hand while also reducing the possibility of distortion. That's all.
Method case discussion, group learning, case discussion. Distribution of material among case team members facilitates discussion or acquisition of large blocks of knowledge efficiently. Let's say I have a team and as a leader, it requires me to distribute the necessary materials to my team, not only to make things easier but also to produce an excellent outcome. Next, summaries by each team member responsible for a subtopic. As the material has been distributed to each team, it is vital to ask for the summaries of the materials who are responsible for a subtopic that leads into more efficient work. Next, leveraging knowledge or analytical minds of team members. It is something that enhances the knowledge or analytical minds of team members to promote and to achieve the desired results of the case discussion. Next, require common sense of responsibility, commitment to do work. This is what we call love what you do. It is something that reminds everyone, specifically the business owners, that it is an obligation to do the best thing for the business, to grow without regrets in the end. At least you know yourself that you did all your means for better outcome. Next, most efficient for teaching broad or multidisciplinary topics, business school, law schools. Next slide, method presentations. Broad or deep learning, individual and team presentations, desire to get public recognition and avoid public failure, encourage attendee or team to do extensive research. This one requires the team to make an in-depth understanding about outside world or public to make a research to gather the information, like for instance, the interest of the public is an important aspect to know where to start and what step you will have in order to get public recognition to avoid public failure. Next, goal to craft an effective presentation requires team or individual multiple review of material, enhance retention, and target behavior change. Yes, it is crucial to make multiple review of material to avoid mistakes. Augment presentation with assign individuals or teams to do critique both to validate, give contrary reviews or examples. Augment presentations pertain to increase or add something to the presentation in order to improve for better understanding about the presentation for both to validate and give contrary views. Next slide. Exam. Achieve goal of validating understanding, immediate verification of can explain objective. Objective must be clear and mastered by the team leader and members for immediate verification for a sudden questions with regards on the intended objectives. Next, assessment feedback build motivation to understand and retain knowledge. This way, the team will be able to address immediately with regards on the shortcomings of the materials. This one is important due to the fact that it provides additional learning. Next, exam and desire to score well or at least pass create pressure that enhance retention. This means exam and desire to score well can create pressure to pursue the mind to keep things such as knowledge. Next slide. Question and answer. Q&A is double-edged, can make attendees forget the message or can emphasize it, and Q&A with the summary even if you have already mentioned it. Flash the summary page, reiterate the objectives and what was achieved. To take everything into account, here are the key principles in content development. Objectives are summary page, state what you will teach, state what you do. Next, retention devices, video or pictures or diagrams, hand-on, underscoring, independent image or text, link topic to person interest, exams or fear of public failure. Next, simplicity in materials, minimum graphics, minimum font or size variation, have backup to platform. Next, no separate teacher guide, and last, optimize white space. And the learning tools, we have here the large crowds classes lecture, smaller rooms guided question to attendees, group learning case discussion, broad or deep learning, individual, team, and team presentations, exams, and last Q&A with a flash of summary page. That is all about our report. Thank you for watching.